What is up, guys? This is Janafikin here. Right, so that's meant to fall off because it hasn't been attached. That's actually a good starter for what has actually happened. So, with the dubstep gun, I've noticed with the pictures, it had rims on the front of the speaker. So I've decided to make those rims out of bits of this wood because I made it like this without them. So I'm going to have to make it like that and attach them differently instead. Also, I couldn't have made them just flat because it wasn't big enough, because on the picture the borders are much larger. As for how far I've come already, there's been a lot of changes since the last update. I've remade the speaker box. It is much bigger and much lighter. Not much bigger, but much lighter. And made of wood, different type of wood. It's made of, I think it's LDF, I think. I'm unsure, but still. Also, I've decided to not add the other two speakers, even for show, because they're just too big. They're too large. They were like a bit bigger than the ones I put there instead. And instead, I'm going to be putting like the lights in those areas, so they're actually coming from the areas they would be, which is just unlimitedly more useful. Plus, they're lighter. Also, I've added a back handle. And what else have I done? Oh yeah, I mounted it, as you can see. So it's got one piece of wood there. It didn't add two because it was difficult, because I had to have one that's going through the hole there, and if I had one, then the other one would be really, really small and stuff, and it just wouldn't work. So I wasn't able to do that. But since I've changed it, it's much lighter. Much lighter than the other original, actually. Surprisingly so. I'm actually completely surprised how light it really is. So the next step is to add those borders, as I was doing before. I need to make the rest of them and then add them. Then I need to wood glue them and fill them. Then I need to leave them until tomorrow, the day of the eclipse as well. Solar eclipse here in England. In England. Yes, in England. Good day. Anyway, sorry, it's my very gentlemanly side. Anyway, you'll get a bit more of that with a few more of my videos. So yes, I've been. I'm gonna then, once I've added those, I'll smoothen it all off, make it all look like it's all one thing, like there's basically no joins, anything like that, and then I'll get round to the bit I've wanted to do for quite a while, which is painting it. Because I've really wanted to paint it for a while, but I need to not rush it, so I haven't painted it yet. But yeah, yeah, you can see me okay there. So I wanted to paint it for quite a while, but it's best that I don't rush things. And so yes, it's going really well. It's almost at the stage where I just need to buy the things to put on it, which is a very exciting stage. I've also found that, you know, the Mighty Boom Ball amp? Mighty Boom Ball amp doesn't actually properly power the system like it properly should do. And I bet you're thinking, why? You said that it worked. And it did. It did work for the smaller speaker. It worked for that one, but it made it a bit, and the volume and the audio control wasn't very good. But to be fair, the volume control on the other one was going a bit rubbish as well. But I just assumed that the reason why they were both sounded rubbish is because the battery was running out. And that might have been the case. But the fact is that either way, even with the battery not running out, I got new batteries, and it still made that sound rubbish after I'd made this entire thing. So I'm at the point where I really need to remake the main like amp for it, which is going to be quite annoying, personally. But I have an idea of what I can use. What I'm planning to use is one of those pocket electric guitar amps, because those output a lot more power, which is very good. They output a lot more power, and this baby requires more power. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be using for the amp. But it's going to be very difficult to add that in, seeing as I've glued the inside of this thing together. I'm just hoping that it will open up nicely. And I'll have to redo the amp thing before I sand all this down and repaint it. Because if I have to add the special amp before I paint it. This is because if I painted it now, or after I've actually probably done what I need to do next, it'll look really rubbish. Well, actually, no, it won't. I'll have to redo it afterwards, and then it'll look rubbish, and I'll have to repaint it. Not repaint it, but repaint it. And it's just, it'll look crap. Excuse my French. I want this to be relatively family friendly. It'll be relatively rubbish. It'll be rubbish. And I don't want that. I want it to be really good. I want it to be, like 200 times better than the original. I want it to be as good as it can be, partially, with what I can do, and in the time I have, seeing as my exams are coming over the horizon, blowing the war horn. So yeah, the dubstep gun is going very, very well. I admit that. I'm officially deciding to actually probably start maybe even a YouTube channel about my creations. I don't have many, but when I make them, I'll fill you in on the details. Like, for instance, I've made a desert eagle. It's all shiny. I'll show it you in another video. I might even do an entire video based around the desert eagle. I won't have photos to show you how it was made and all that sort of stuff, because I didn't take any. Same with this thing. I don't have very many photos of all the stages. I have a few photos of the stages with the original, but not very many. It goes to being like, yeah, rubbish, yeah. Oh, it's actually kind of starting to make form, and then, holy crap, it's done. Oh. But, yeah. Whereas I've decided now, I will actually probably try and take pictures of the different stages. And if I don't, then I will do a video where I will explain exactly what I did. Or near enough. Enough so that you kind of understand what's going on. I might make some actual, like, step-by-step videos, but they'll only be special ones, or maybe even just quick ones that come in the future. Because it has to be quick ones, because I don't really have time to go step-by-step with this thing, because it takes forever to make. Like, literally forever. And to be able to actually step-by-step tell you how to make this, I'd have to get steps from the original, when I made it originally, and I don't have those pictures. So this is why I'm doing it like this. You're probably wondering why I keep going back and forth like Ray William Johnson does, or equals 3 or whatever. It's because I like it. It's fun. I just like the idea of it. It just seems a bit more professional. But anyway, you know what? This has been me, Jan African. See you around.